Everybody, welcome back. Episode 6, Altered Reality, coming your way from Braintree, Massachusetts. We got Alex and Anastasia. We took a week off. We did a little bit of workshopping, a little regrouping, trying to plan some new, fun, exciting things for you guys, the fans out there. For episode 6, we said we're going to bring it back to the OG style. We got the three of us shooting the shit a little bit, going deep, talking about our realities. And then next week, we should be back on track with another big guest, get you guys some more answers to those questions you're looking for. But let's dive into it right now. Alex and Anastasia, how we doing? Anastasia, I know you got a big test you've been studying for. We haven't really heard from you much, and I know the Series 7 is tough. Tell me what's been going on with that.
Yes. So I've been having a really big shift in my life. Kind of coming out of this whole yachting lifestyle, crazy nomadic parties and whatever, and living out of my bag, to moving back in with my parents. I don't have a car. I study every day. I'm basically back in high school. The only thing that's missing is like sneaking my boyfriend into my room. But it has been a really big shift for me. I am not used to staying home for this long, and I can't remember the last time I studied for a test. But I am studying for what I think is one of the hardest tests in my life. It's the Series 7. I think, Justin, you've taken it, haven't you?
Yeah, and I can definitely attest that it is one of the hardest tests you'll take. Yeah, for sure. So I feel your pain. I'm sitting there. I'm like, damn, go girl.
I'm going to be quiet because I have no idea what the fuck a Series 7 is. So I dropped out of college 4 times and a 1.9 in high school. So please tell me what a Series 7 is.
Okay, so the Series 7 is, a huge exam for financial services industry. So basically, after you pass this exam, you're like a certified stockbroker. The thing is for the career that I'm kind of moving into, I actually don't need a lot of what is on this exam, which kind of sucks. But I mean, most people who take the Series 7 don't actually end up implementing a lot of the things that they learn. Right. But it's just one of those like things you have to have if you want to be successful in this industry. So I'm making a big shift into the financial services world, and I'm really excited for it because I haven't had stability ever. And now this job, I get to help people and have stability. So I'm just grinding it out right now, you guys. I literally study.
The only thing you're missing right now is having your boyfriend who's long distance in the UK with you in your life. I wouldn't say be complete, but it would be working towards like a fucking pretty good life right now.
Yeah, honestly it would. But I was telling him the other day, I'm like, it's probably actually a good thing that you're not here, because I just have so much content to study and to get through. Like, if he was here, I would be so distracted.
No, honestly,
so distracted.
That, and the other thing too is, like, I know you had mentioned to us like before, you're planning on taking the test after like basically like a month or like 5 or 6 weeks of like studying and preparing. And so like kudos to you, because I know a lot of people oftentimes take like anywhere from like 3 to like 6 months to study and prepare for this exam, just because of how like comprehensive and like long it is. So kudos to you for tackling that in that shorter time.
Thank you. I'm definitely like super nervous and scared, but I'm just kind of like manifesting that I'm going to pass this exam. I mean,
that's
it has
all
a
you can do. Yeah,
pass rate.
Yep.
Literally, I'm like, oh my god, there's a good chance that I might not pass.
I passed it by like 2 points, and that's all that matters. At the end of the day, when anyone asked if I had the Series 7, they didn't ask whether I got a 100% or 1 point above passing. It was just you passed.
Exactly.
Well,
C's get degrees.
Exactly.
Just get that fucking pass that test so you can be a baller and spoil me on like drinking and eating.
Exactly.
Dude, we actually need us three need to all link up. So Anastasia, you need to come to Boston so me, you, and Justin can actually have an in-studio session and go get dinner.
Yeah,
and,
we should do that. We could get good content, I think, from like a night out.
It would be good.
I'll be coming to Boston in August, I believe. So
nice.
I'll be coming to Vermont for you tomorrow.
Yes. We're so excited. We can finally tell everyone.
Finally.
Oh yeah, share the news. You guys got some big stuff.
So finally, every time I go to Vermont, we've always been like kind of secretive why I'm there. People just think, me and Anastasia just love each other so much that we want to just bless each other with our presence. No, we were not only that. No, we were working. So we just announced today. Well, Bravo did that. We're doing Galley Talk again. So now we're gonna react to the new season Below Deck Med 6, and it's fun, man. Like we filmed a good amount of episodes so far, and it's been like, super fun, kind of just like watching it and, reacting to it, X, Y, and Z.
That's awesome.
It's been such a crazy season and a huge change, right? Like, one of the big players is not there anymore. Our darling Hannah. So it's definitely like a whole new crew and a whole new dynamic. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it has been nuts, but I'm glad. I'm just glad to to kind of be back with Bravo and kind of just talk shit with Anastasia, because that's like what we do best. We just talk shit, drink wine, and get to make fun of people because we're hiding from our own insecurities. So
we're just happy it's not us anymore.
Yeah.
We're like, yes, it's so much easier when you're on the other side
exactly.
of the screen.
It's people look at it as like people say to me like people DM me today, what a fucking job. You get to sit on the couch, drink wine, and react to a season. Yep. I don't mind that at all.
Can't get much better than that,
dude.
no.
So it's been pretty good.
Awesome.
In the Below Deck, I don't know, have you been watching any of the new season or no?
So I haven't been as caught up as I should be, but I know you guys have been kind of reflecting. So do you guys want to get us a little caught up on what's going on?
Last night's episode was crazy. Like, so last night was the episode when they dropped off Charter. There was a night out, and it was the crazy hot tub scene. The girl Lexi, she just went off on Lloyd and all the guys. Malia had a big fight with her. There was a big blowout last night.
Yep.
So basically, the only thing I take from that episode, there was a lot that happened, was just basically Z fell straight on his face with Courtney on his back, shit face on the night out, but the whole thing was based off of Lexi being a complete bitch. I'll say it. She was a bitch. Yeah. All she was doing was yelling at everyone. She was drunk. She was just blaming all her things. Oh no, like I get someone it's sad that she lost someone and it is really tough.
Right.
But she keeps deflecting. Oh, this happened a few months ago. Like, if something really bad happened, which it did, you shouldn't be filming. You should you're not ready to be on TV if you're gonna snap and be that way. So it was just it was a really bad look for her last night, and she was just like I said, fighting with everyone, and she's very stubborn and very in her own ways that she's right and no one else is wrong. You know what I mean? She's never wrong.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Well, I'm curious for you guys now that you're watching on the other end, like you said, Anastasia. Do you guys watch things and maybe ask yourself I wonder if this is actually how it was portrayed on camera, or I have a suspicion something else is going on here?
For sure. There's only so much you can fit into a 45-minute episode, right? You're not going to get entirely the whole story. There might have been some, little tiff beforehand that led to that blow up.
Right.
There might have been more apologies than we saw. I mean, that happened to me where I would snap and then nobody would see my apology, or nobody would see the things that happened before, and then I just look like an idiot.
Right.
But I mean, that's just the nature of reality TV. You can't possibly fit everything in. So there was definitely moments where we were like, all right, maybe it wasn't that bad. But last night, you guys, I mean, in that hot tub, it just popped off. And I feel like everyone got involved. Everyone was yelling.
Oh, yeah. Well,
everyone got involved somehow.
What's his name? Lloyd. So Lloyd's a kid with a mustache.
Yep.
It was pretty funny. Lexi called him, I think, a bitch or a pussy or something like that, and he took so much offense. He just went right to his room, put his headphones on, and there's just certain people you can't say things to, which is she was just being nasty to everyone. But off Lexi for a second, David was trying to spit some game on Malia in the hot tub, and Malia was just don't do it, not right now. But I give David credit. He took his boxers off and he did a naked lap around the boat. So I give him credit for that.
He has a lot of courage. I mean, he shot his shot.
And we all know what happens when you shoot your shot on national TV. It's not going to work.
No. Alex, you know that better than anyone.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to live that for the rest of my life.
But it's okay. It's okay because you got other things going on, Alex.
Dude, I know. I've been a busy man. Anastasia and I were talking on the phone the other day.
Yep.
So you know what it is? It's like we were even talking about you know, like with a podcast, like we have 3 different schedules. Like I'm doing little, like all little shit. Anastasia's doing a bunch of little shit, and you have your business. You're doing all other little shit.
Yep.
All 3 of us on different schedule. It's like trying to find 1 hour to get shit done. It's like I never realized how tough it is with all our schedules. It's like it's not like we work 9 to 5 jobs that and we all live in the same town. All right, let's go to the studio and bang it out today. It's like, okay, like what are you doing today? Okay, you're good. Like what are you doing? You're good. You're good. Like last week we were so slammed with everything. We're like, we can't do a show last week. That's why we had to go off. And then this week was such a scramble that like the guests we were gonna have just couldn't do it because like, you know, so we need to get better. And we talked about like getting organized, but it's, you know, we're all figuring each other out. It's so new, you know what I mean?
That's kind of what like that part of that workshop was. Is saying, hey, like we got the elements, like how do we kind of put everything together? You know?
I'm glad us 3. You know, we had a good little business call the other day. We're talking about
efficient.
it. Hey, we're going up in this world. So for you 14 listeners, we're gonna grab this, okay? But no, it's so. Off topic, you know, like I just thought about this before I forgot it. So I went away I went to New Hampshire and on Sunday and you know, like last episode I was talking about kind of, you know, like getting better with my anxiety and kind of getting a hold of things and like I have my spurts and everything's been really good for the last like 2 weeks or so. And it's funny, like I've been hanging out with this new girl and like, you know, and we've been going on hikes, playing golf, doing all these things like really good.
Yep.
And I've always been like, for now, which you guys been in relationships for a long time and whatever, so you guys are comfortable with like your, you know, your person you're with, right? So I'm at that stage of, you know, I'm very open, I'm very vocal with the person, but like I'm still a little self-conscious of like showing like my vulnerability and showing all these things.
Yep.
And like this weekend, like, you know, going away, like she saw a side of me that was that I've been dealing with that like I kind of told her about, but like she saw it firsthand, right? So we're sitting at dinner and we're just talking about life or whatever, and something came up like she goes like, so like where do you think your anxiety stems from? And I started talking about like, you know, my fear of death and all these things, and like we started talking about it, and like she's just kind of just like, you know, I'm like open up about it. I'm like open about all these things about death and why I'm so afraid to, you know, why I'm a control freak and all these things. And I realized when I started talking about it, I was talking about for 5 minutes, I talked myself into a full-blown panic attack. I'm at dinner, right?
Yeah.
So like and like I got to the point like I'm talking and I'm like completely sober, like we have no drinks, like whatever. I'm like I start like sweating and like my vision starts getting completely like blurred out and I told him I'm so sorry. She goes, what? Like what's going on? I'm like I don't know. Like I'm like, I just gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I go to the bathroom. I start splashing water on my face. I'm like, and my heart's racing. I'm start going into that panic mode just because just for the fact of me talking about it.
Right.
And I talked myself into it, and like my head started getting super lightheaded, and I literally thought to the point that if I closed my eyes, I was gonna like pass out, like like legitimately. And I told her, I'm like, and I was like, hey, listen, like, you know, and she kind of she knew already. I'm like, and she was like, everything all right? I'm like, and I kind of told him like what just happened. And I'm like, I just had to walk away and all these things. I'm like, honestly, like it gets to the point that like I even talk about it. Like the fact like my anxiety is so bad about death, and I thought it was good like me just talking about it and talk about my future on like, you know, if something happens to me or whatever, and like in my existence and like what happens after everything. I'm like that legitimately gets me into such a deep, like such a dark state of mind that I don't know how to get out of it. And like she like calmed me down and like whatever, but that was the first time I shown being in public with someone else and like and I just, I'm like, dude, this is what's happening right now. And it was good, like she was like, you know, walk me through it, but it was a scary thought, like the fact that I'm out in dinner in New Hampshire and having a great night and just talking about one little thing completely just took over my whole body.
Yep.
It's scary. I'm like, what? Like, and like now I'm trying to get a grasp of like I really do need to talk to someone because like I can't, like I don't want to be in public and do this. You know, it scared me.
It's funny because I think it's a principle of like if you had thought of like a good thought or a happy thought, it's not like all of a sudden you would like have burst out into smiles and would have been able to stop smiling all night. But when you think about something that's like very like anxious and like triggers a nerve, like the negative reaction is so much more like extreme than like a positive reaction would be. And that's one of the things that like makes it so difficult is like figuring out like, hey, like when I start to like feel myself going down that like rabbit hole, how do you kind of bring yourself back, right?
Dude, that's my biggest thing of like I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that. It's scary, man. Like, cause like I don't know. It was like, what the fuck? Like, I went on a beautiful
Alex,
hike. What's up?
This is exactly the type of thing I have been trying to encourage you to do, because when you do finally get to the point where you're, executing on finding a therapist, that therapist is going to give you those tools to be able to deal with those situations.
Yeah.
And like, I know that you're almost there, and you can't ever make someone be ready, but like, having therapy, like for me, dealing with my anxieties around when I had an abortion at the beginning of last year, those anxieties around, sex and all that stuff, like it was really, really bad. And it wasn't until I was able to see a therapist and gain those tools in my tool belt to deal with those anxieties that I actually felt like I had control. And going back to you saying that, you're a control freak, well, I'm sure, when you have these panic attacks and stuff, it's really scary, because it feels like you don't have any control at all.
No, I had none. I had like my hands were tingly, like my head just seemed like an air balloon. I was like, I know that I'm going into the state, but it's like scary, because like once you're in that state, like I'm like half, like I half know and I half like kind of panic mode. Right. So it's like one of those like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like. But it was good, and like I said, the person I was hanging out with is just like gets it, and is just like really good at like getting my mind off of it and stuff, and the big distraction to get off of, we ordered dessert. I ate a cookie skillet, and it was really good, and I was happy. I was happy, and then I fucking passed out, and then I did like a 8-mile hike the next day, and my leg. So you guys are in good shape. My back, my legs, my knees, my feet. I did a hike. I'm too out of shape for this shit. Like
you also wore the worst shoes you could possibly.
I wore Nike running shoes, which I had to throw away because they were
like
muddy.
The fly knit ones. They like have no support.
Yeah,
dude. Honestly, but like I used to be like, oh, I'm going out, like I go to the bars, like kind of mingle around. Now I'm hanging out with this like adventurous person. I'm like, all right, now we're doing hikes, all these things I love to do. I'm like, so out of breath. I'm like huffing and puffing. I'm like, this is fun. I'm having
so much fun.
I'm taking an ice bath for like 2 hours. Like later on, I'm like, fuck.
Oh my goodness.
Has it like?
But it's.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Anastasia.
Justin. Go ahead.
No. You first.
No, you.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Well, no. I was just gonna say, do you feel like it's motivated you at all, like when like taking on these new experiences with like this new girl, and kind of like realizing there's this like whole like kind of like nature adventurous, like kind of like outdoorsy side that like you were neglecting before? Does it like make you think that like, okay, like going forward in my normal life, I'm gonna start to implement change in that area?
110%, man. Because it's funny, for the last few years or 4 years being in the yachting space, all I've known is you work nonstop, and then when you're done working, you're literally inside of a bar until your next job, and you're partying or whatever with your crew members. And I've neglected, because I've been on the water, I'm like, I do all the fun water things. I've neglected like taking a step back and go on hikes, doing these things to like slow myself down. And like the last month, I've been in Vermont a few times. I've been in New Hampshire. I've been doing all these things. I'm like, dude, there's so much out there, and I'm literally just like I'm just not capitalizing on like what's out there. So like I'm really slowing myself down. It's like I feel like each day that I'm doing these things that like I like, even on the hikes, like I have so much clarity. I think of all these things and all my life, and I reflect on things. And it's too like it gets to the point like I just like kind of like want to move to like the woods now. Like I just like want to move like. No, I don't know. It's just a good pace of like, for the last month I've been away from my friends. I haven't been with the same friends I've been with, and like I'm realizing most of those guys only hit me up when they're out on going to bars or trying to flirt with girls. It's like it's like I'm realizing what I don't, the people I don't want to be around, and the people I do want to be around. So it's I'm in this weird change in my life, but like things are starting to feel good and start feeling normal, whatever normal is. But I'm starting to enjoy myself right now. I'm actually like getting happy right now,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
That's a really big thing for you, Alex, especially like I know how much you've been struggling, and honestly, like I know a lot of your depression has been fueled by alcohol.
Mhm.
You know, I how many times have you called me the next morning just being like, I fucking hate myself right now.
Well, I
You
said
know,
that
and
sober
like,
too.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but really kudos to you, because making those huge changes, especially with something that's as addictive as drinking, is no small feat. And like, to find a person that is actually really supportive of that change is so important. And something I used to tell you as well is that like, you have to take yourself out of that environment, because nothing's going to change if you're going to stay in Fort Lauderdale or wherever it is. Like, yachting is so notorious for binge drinking, alcoholism, drug abuse. Like, it's just part of the industry, unfortunately, and
For
it's
sure.
really hard to get away from it.
Yeah.
Especially to make a huge change like you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And
kudos to you.
yeah, I appreciate that. And like even like I've been hanging out with, just like kind of one person, like, something might happen, something might not happen, but like me recognizing kind of what it is, that's just huge. Like, I'm not gonna sit there, oh, like, I'm taking, I'm all this. Like, I don't know, like, I'm still single, but like I'm still I'm seeing other people's life, and how it's just not just like, not everything's what's the word I'm looking for, revolved around me, right? So it's like, and like I've been just so caught on into
Revolved
like
around you.
yeah, I've been so caught into like, I need to do all these things, but like, just take a step back, let things kind of come to you a little bit.
Yeah.
But even with you guys, I mean, how do you guys, well, I mean, you've had your girlfriend, like, kind of, you guys live together or no?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, so you've been with someone for a few years, and like, have you guys ever done long distance? I know, Anastasia, you're doing long distance now. Like, see, what I'm afraid of with, before I get into this, like, I'm afraid to do long distance because, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be here or not. So I've been so shut off of letting people in because I'm afraid to do long distance because I don't want to hurt anybody, because I know I'm gonna be doing things I don't want. Like, I'm afraid it's gonna fail. Like, how do you guys find that? Like, how do you know? You can do that with like being comfortable and like being away. Like you said, you did it before, right?
Yes, actually, Anastasia, I'm curious to hear from you because I know you're going through it right now. I would say, just real quick, one of the biggest issues I ran into when in my past relationship, my previous relationship before my current one, I was in a long distance relationship with someone for just over 2 years, where I was in Boston. They were down in Jersey. And I think the most difficult part about the long-term relationship is, obviously you have to have like a certain level of trust, and there's anxiety and all that stuff that goes into it. But the most difficult part was that, like, when we would get together for like a weekend or like a couple days, something like that, it was almost like, because we hadn't seen each other in like a few weeks and we had so little time to spend together, that we felt like the pressure to like always be like getting things done and planning and like doing things in the relationship, and it didn't give us the time to just like relax and watch a movie, or like sleep in on like a Sunday and like have like a lazy day, something like that, because it put the pressure on to like always be doing something and take advantage of the time. Anastasia, I'm curious if that's something similar you're experiencing.
I mean, to be honest, those are issues that I experienced in previous long distance relationships. The relationship I'm in now is so drastically different
That's
from
awesome.
anything I've ever experienced, and I give a big part of that to my therapy, and really learning a lot about myself and the way that I deal with certain issues and problems, and how I projected that stuff onto other people thinking it was their fault, but really it all came down to me, and I was creating these situations. So I got a better relationship with myself, and now I'm in the most communicative, open, honest relationship I've ever been in my entire life.
That's awesome.
And it sucks that Will and I are going on almost 4 months of being long distance, and we don't argue. Like, in all my previous long distance relationships, there's always arguments, there's always jealousy, there's always like, well, where were you, like, why
Right.
didn't you see me, like, da, da, da. But in this relationship, we talk every single day, and we have really open communication. And even those little things that you might be embarrassed up to your partner, like maybe you saw something on Instagram and you're jealous, or maybe you're feeling a little like, we seriously like talk through everything, and we don't make each other feel crazy or put each other down and we truly try and put ourselves into the other person's shoes to try and understand. And I think, Alex, that point you were saying is like, you know, how do I know if I'm going to hurt her, or we're going to be long distance, whatever. If this relationship that you have is really worth it and it feels really good to you in your heart, your mind, your body, everything, then that person is worth any amount of distance. Like if I had to wait a year or more to see Will again, like I would. But I truly believe that he's my person, and he's the person I really want to spend the rest of my life, and the person I want to put a lot of effort into. So for me, it's worth it. It sucks. It fucking sucks.
Hey, not having sex. How bad is that? All right,
it's worth it.
How bad is not having sex?
Honestly, dude, like it's terrible. But I mean, it's not like I just want sex with random people, whatever. Like I'm talking
about with him.
I miss him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like it's really terrible. It's a good thing that I have so many things to assist.
Hey, dude, you know it's actually funny. I don't know if I told this. I don't know if we talked about it or not. But when I saw Anastasia like 2 weeks ago, it was funny. Like she was talking to me about like same thing about like missing Will and everything else and like the sex. And I started talking about like kind of my trip and like my sex life. And I'm not lying, man. Dude, she already knows what I'm gonna say. So we're sitting at dinner, and I'm telling her kind of what was happening, like what I was doing some raunchy shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, like what happened, like and Anastasia, I'm not lying. She goes, she's like shaking. Okay, tell me more. Yeah. And like because like she's so dry.
Like, and then what did you do?
Yeah. She's like she's like. So what was the position? Okay, tell me more. Her eyes, like she was having an orgasm just listening, because like I swear to God, like this girl looked like she was having like an exorcism at the dinner. Yeah. Oh, more. I'm like, damn. Like, all right, I'm not that good at telling stories, but damn, dude, it was fucking hysterical. That I'm like, damn, you need to get laid. She goes, I need to go use my toy at home.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, I need to use my my sucker vibrator or whatever you have.
God.
That's hysterical.
I have just been living vicariously through all of my friends. I'm just like, okay, ooh, and then what did he say? And then what were you wearing? And then tell me more. It's bad, you guys. It's really bad.
Damn.
And I'm just so stressed. I just need a release.
You should buy you should get, you already have a sponsor. You have a sucker sponsor, don't you? Yeah, you should get we should get sponsored. We should get so many like sex toys on this podcast. Like
we really could, honestly.
I want everything. For it. Like Anastasia can, get all the dildos for her, get everything she needs. Like she's dry. She needs it. I travel. I need maybe like a pocket pussy. I need something on the road. Justin, you have a girlfriend. You're good, but you're in the studio for a long time. You might need to give a little release in here.
Little pocket flashlight.
A pocket pussy. First of all, I hate even saying it. I think they are so disgusting.
Let me tell you, no. Have you ever had one?
No, I was just saying I haven't, but I thought it was hysterical because I remember like one time in like 7th grade, like one of my friends bought
mom's
one.
Closet.
No, one of my friends bought one, and then he decided after like a month he was like sketched out, so he like hit us up like trying to sell it to us, and we were like, dude, we don't want your used fleshlight. He was like, I washed it out. I was like, dude, I don't give a shit if you washed it out. That's disgusting.
I will literally say right now, like having a pocket pussy hands down is the best buy I've ever had. I was 19 years old and me and like 18 dudes on our hockey team. We were at Mall of America. We were playing in Minnesota, so we all bought one, right? So like we all have pocket pussies, and I'm living in Wisconsin. I'm using that shit like whatever. Let me just tell you, it's the best sex I've ever had. They don't talk back to you. You can do whatever you want. You come in them, and all you do, you wash them out and put them right underneath your bed, and until you need them next time, you don't have to do dates. It's cheap. It's a one-time buy. It's a one-time date at the Spencer's or whatever store you get it from, and that's it.
What do you do? You lube it up?
Oh yeah, yep. You get a thing of lube, and you just go at it. It's just nonstop. It literally, it's I might go get one after this. Hey, Anastasia, I don't want to hear it. You have your sucker. I don't want to hear. Don't look down on me.
Did you and like all the hockey team players like share your?
No, we all got individual ones.
Use them at the same time.
No, we all got individual ones, but yeah, I mean it was good. So if guys, if you're out there and you don't do well on the dating apps, go get a pocket peep.
Pocket pussy.
Anyway, this Ultra Reality is sponsored by Pocket Pussy.
No, it is sponsored by Hedge Better.
Hedge Better at Pocket Pussy.
Yeah. But what else, guys? So what else is going on? I mean, so I'm excited. Next week we'll have a new guest on. We'll get to the swing of things, and we'll just get back to talking to a lot of shit. I have a guy that. What did you say, Anastasia?
Well, I just kind of had a question for all of our listeners, and I'm really interested to know the answers in the comments section, either on YouTube or on Instagram. I want to know, how do people deal with their anxieties, and like what are some methods that other people are using to kind of like deal with big changes in their lives, and maybe anxieties that they feel like they can't control. Like, I want to know what everybody else is doing out there. And like, for me, it was therapy. Like, maybe there's some other like remedies from other people, and maybe like some tools that they've learned. So I'm really interested if you're willing to share. Obviously, no pressure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I definitely want to get, the people get questions. Cause like I get DMs and like, it just, DM us on our Instagram page on the Alter Reality, because it was easy to track. I mean, just since like I'm the man, I'm the coolest guy in the world. Like all these DMs just flood, obviously. But no. But seriously, same way. Like I want people to, I want to answer the questions, and also I kind of put it in I didn't even ask you guys. I just made an Instagram yesterday. I just like try to plug our Alter Reality Instagram. So I'm like, yeah, whoever makes fun of me the best in my comments, you get to get a little sneak peek.
Right.
So I'll look later if anyone like made fun of me bad. I think
do we have any good roasts on there?
There was a few. Anastasia's boyfriend came at me. He says, we in the fashion world call that worn in. Normally it takes weeks. You've achieved in a day. So like he's basically saying I have no fashion, which was a good chirp for sure. People saying, oh, like, what are you trying to hide, the K-Swiss logo on the shoes? Like it's so it's yeah. So there's definitely some some fashion chirps, but we're good with it. So
is K-Swiss not cool?
Dude, Anastasia, you're the type of person who wears the things because like they're not cool, and you think it's cool to wear them because they're not cool.
Whatever.
That's called fashion.
I have better style than you, sweetie. Okay.
I didn't say I have style. I'm wearing. Well, actually, this is a nice golf shirt. It's a.
That is actually a nice golf shirt. Yeah, it's a very nice golf shirt. But I'm wearing like Walmart like shorts right now. Yeah. Hey. Oh, and also, fuck, dude, I need Anastasia. Maybe tomorrow when I'm in Vermont or after whatever, we have to go to one of the clothing stores because I need an outfit for this weekend. That we're doing this like we're doing this polo event. Oh, nice.
So it's like this fundraiser we're doing.
Is that horse riding polo?
Yes.
Horse riding.
So it's like celebrity like bartender. So like we're gonna bartend and like just be around like a bunch of people and hopefully raise money for Dream Ride. But so we're gonna do that, and also like everyone, dude, polo, it's a bunch of rich people, and good style, classy. I look at my wardrobe. I'm like an H&M like to the death of me. So I need something to I need some swag.
You need some like Kentucky Derby outfit.
I was like, oh, like do I wear like a suit, like a blazer? And the lady's like, do not wear a blazer. It's like business casual. Like obviously there's gonna be some like old people that are gonna be balling out, but like, I need like a nice pants, good shoes, and like not a shirt like a button down that I'm gonna sweat in, but like a cool hip, like a breathable shirt.
Okay.
So I need some help, Anastasia.
So for anybody who is in the Connecticut area and wants to come, the event is on Saturday, and it's at the Farmington Polo Club. I've never been to a polo game. I'm actually like really, really excited.
I've never been to polo either. I don't even know what to expect.
I'm not classy enough to be invited to polo events until now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. And like the lady was saying to me, she goes, "Oh yeah, like you can throw the ball out for the thing." I'm like what? Like there's a ball in polo? Like I don't even know what we're getting ourselves into. Like I have like this could be like fun or disaster. I have no idea. But I know the cause is really good, but I have no idea what me and his stage are gonna be doing. So it's gonna be funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, at the
either
very
way,
least.
Alex, we're gonna have a good time. We're either gonna have like a genuine good time, or we're gonna like have to create our own good time by just like making fun of everyone.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna share a room. I don't know what the bed situation is, but I like to be near the. If there's only one bed, I want to be by the AC side because I'm kind of a hot sleeper.
That's fine. I get really cold at night, so
Thank you. But I think
you can have the AC side. I'll stay on the door side in case we have an intruder and I need to attack.
Oh my god. So okay. So funny you said that. So this weekend, so the girl I was hanging out with,
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna name drop names, but you know, try to be private.
It's J-Lo.
Yeah, Beyonce. But so same thing. She goes like, you know, like every time we go to hotels or whatever, she likes to sleep on the side not closest to the door because if there's an intruder.
Right.
And now I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, I don't really want to sleep on this side now either. I never really thought about it. I'm like, I never really thought about it, but I'm like being like the manly tough guy. Okay, sure. She falls asleep first. I'm like, please, no one come in. Like I'm like locking all the doors. I'm shutting all the curtains. I'm like, all right, no one come in here. Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, please don't put me in that situation
Oh
where
my
I have to
God.
act on that.
brutal.
Well, don't worry, Alex. I'll get the door side. I'll make sure to bring my pink what's it called, mace gun.
But anything else, guys? Do we have any other any things we should touch on? Anything happen in the world that we're any big news happen?
I wouldn't know. I live under big time.
Any really big news?
No,
any
I,
sports world. Anything big? No.
I don't think there's anything too big. I mean, in the sports world, I know Aaron Rodgers decided he's coming back to the
Yep, I
Packers
saw
for a
that.
bit.
Brady making that electric video, throwing it.
That was ridiculous. I thought that was fake at first.
Dude, he's
That
just
was
throwing
crazy.
it in the ball machine 3 times. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
it was edited really good or if like he actually did that because it was fucking sick.
It's unbelievable.
He for anyone who knows, like me and Justin would suck Tom Brady's dick. We're not even
For
lying.
sure, for sure.
No, like dead ass. Like
Yeah.
we would. Like
No, 100%.
Like-
It's not for content.
like,
That's straight up.
Tom Brady is not even that good looking. All
He's
right.
so good. baby.
dude, he's so hot. Like you don't know sports, so I don't want to hear it.
You don't know sports.
Yeah.
Well, also, if we have any Australian listeners, I just want to say we are thinking about you, and we hope that everything in Australia is okay.
Wait, what
There's been a lot
happened?
of
Update me.
Protests. Well, I mean,
I don't know,
they've
yeah.
gone into a very serious lockdown again, and there was some very, very big, riots and protests against these lockdowns, and it has been very destructive for the city. And I just am really feeling for my people in Sydney, and I just hope that everything's going to be okay. And obviously, all my peeps in South Africa, after
Yeah, what happened there?
everything kind of so basically in Durban, the South African president was put in jail, and there's all this politics behind that. And he personally, I don't think he's a very good man, but he had a lot of supporters who really did not want him to be in jail, and they rioted, and it caused a really, really big kind of explosive battle against themselves. So, the entirety of Durban was just really demolished, and there was rioters and looters, and it was just absolute mayhem, and a lot of businesses and homes were destroyed. So a lot of people are really suffering there right now. So, hearts out to you guys. And I
Shit.
think,
That's right.
yeah, it's been kind of crazy in the news actually.
Yeah, it's been so crazy. Honestly,
Bless
it's
you.
probably because the three of us have been so busy ourselves that we're like, what's been going on
I know.
lately? It's
No.
like, yeah,
And-
everything's just been kind of.
Yeah, and dude, sorry. Like I know I said earlier, sorry again about your uncle. That's tragic. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? The
thank you.
loss of your
Appreciate
uncle,
you
yeah.
guys. Honestly, just want to say, shout out Big Uncle Al. We're gonna miss you, man. And to answer the question you asked earlier about picking yourself up when you're down, I think one of the most I'll just share a quick 30-second story before we sign off. Over the weekend after we found out he passed, we all went to my aunt's house, kind of a little family get together, celebration of life type of thing. And it can be a very, if that's not someone like you that's traditionally likes to be like emotional and open up to people and go be vulnerable, it can be like a very difficult thing to do. But I'll tell you, I went, and at first I was a little uncomfortable, but I left feeling like $1 million because at the end of the day, I was able to, be close with family, and you're kind of conquering those fears and realizing that, hey, the people that love you and care about you, you can be vulnerable to them. So
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, sending you and your family a really big hug. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. And we appreciate all you guys out there that tuned in for episode 6 of Altered Reality. Like we said, we're going to come back at you next week. Another great episode, another great guest. We have some cool ideas, maybe a couple new segments, things like that we got in the works. Some stuff we'll throw at you. As always, like we say, the show is only as successful as you guys help us make it. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to help you guys provide the best content possible. Check us out on YouTube, Altered Reality. Check us out on Instagram, The Altered Reality Show. Follow, like, subscribe, leave a comment, get in touch with us, tell your friends about us, and we'll be back next week. We got Anastasia. We got Alex. I'm Jay Fine. We'll see you guys.
Woo! Jay Fine.
Bye-bye.